right, welcome to today's explainer. I want you to picture this for a second. You're cruising down Interstate 35. The relentless Texas heat is just absolutely baking the asphalt. And suddenly, bam! A massive thud echoes from beneath your car, and your steering wheel violently fights back like it's got a mind of its own. A tire blowout at highway speeds is without a doubt one of the most terrifying, high-stakes emergencies you can face behind the wheel. So today, we're breaking down a roadside survival guide based on expert advice right out of Schertz, Texas. We're going to help you navigate this exact crisis so you can get home safely. So, what's our game plan today? We're looking at 4 key areas: surviving the sudden blowout, assessing tire damage safely, knowing when to call the professionals, and finally, preventing future tire failures. Let's kick things off with Section 1, surviving the sudden blowout. You know, human instinct is a funny thing. When something goes wrong on the road, your immediate gut reaction instinct is to just slam on the brakes. But in a blowout, that is the absolute worst thing you can do. Hard braking immediately shifts all the weight of your vehicle forward, which basically destroys your steering control and can send you spinning right into traffic. Instead, the life-saving action here is to simply take your foot off the gas. Allow the car to slow down naturally. I know it feels completely counterintuitive when you're literally panicking, but coasting is the absolute key to keeping control. Okay, so here is the exact sequence you need to master. Step 1, foot off the gas, just like we said. Step 2, get a really firm grip on the wheel with both hands. Your car is going to pull aggressively, so you have to force it to track straight. Step 3, hit those hazard lights immediately so the drivers flying up behind you know something's wrong. And Step 4, pull over safely, completely out of traffic. If you're near FM 3009 or Schertz Parkway, try to aim for a wide shoulder or a parking lot. If you're stuck on I-35, just get as far to the right as humanly possible. You can never, ever stop in an active lane. All right, moving right along to Section 2, assessing that tire damage safely. Okay, you've pulled over, you're safe, take a breath. But before you just pop the door open, you have to ask yourself, do you actually have the right tools, and is it truly safe to step out? Don't just assume you're ready for this. A wild fact is that a lot of modern vehicles don't even carry a real spare tire anymore. Instead, they give you these little temporary inflation kits that only work if you ran over a tiny nail. If your blowout left you with a shredded mess of rubber, that inflation kit is completely useless. So you've really got to evaluate your actual roadside readiness before you ever step foot outside. Now, if you are thinking about attempting a manual repair, here are your 3 absolute non-negotiables. You need a functional jack, a lug wrench, and a properly inflated spare tire. Notice I said properly inflated. If your spare is flat, or if you're missing a tool, or if the jack is broken, well, a self-repair is impossible. If you don't have all 3 of these things ready to go, your DIY journey ends right here. Which brings us to Section 3, when you really need to just call the professionals. I want you to listen to this stark warning from the experts. Working mere feet from vehicles traveling at high speeds puts your life in danger. This is the terrifying reality of highways like I-35. Commercial trucks and distracted drivers drift onto highway shoulders all the time. If your blown tire happens to be on the driver's side, stepping out to swap it means you are literally putting your back to 70-mile-per-hour traffic. That is an extreme physical risk, and it's exactly why dispatchers like Schertz Towing urge you to just stay in your car and call for help. Let's be real for a second and compare doing it yourself versus calling in the pros. Have you ever tried to unscrew lug nuts that a dealership mechanic tightened like they were preparing the car for a trip to the moon? Your standard little hand wrench won't even budge them. Plus, if you pull into uneven gravel or dirt, those cheap consumer-grade jacks can easily slip, dropping the car and causing catastrophic damage, or worse, severe injury. The pros, on the other hand, they roll up with high-torque impact tools, massive heavy-duty jacks that actually stay put, and most importantly, high-visibility lane-blocking safety gear to protect the entire workspace. Now, I know it's super tempting to think, hey, I'll just ignore the flat and slowly limp the car to the nearest shop. Don't. Just don't. This leads to what mechanics call secondary damage. That's the incredibly costly destruction of your rubber, your metal rims, and your suspension systems, all caused by driving on a totally deflated wheel. The source makes it crystal clear. Doing this will turn an inconvenient little tire replacement into massive financial and mechanical ruin. Oh, and a quick sidebar for the commercial drivers watching. If you are behind the wheel of a loaded box truck or tractor trailer, standard passenger equipment will absolutely fail you. You're dealing with massive weight challenges here. Attempting to manage a commercial blowout without robust, specialized lifting gear isn't just hard, it's practically guaranteed to lead to severe injuries and a ton of route downtime.
All right, let's wrap things up with section 4, how to prevent future tire failures with proactive maintenance.
To combat the severe toll that South Texas asphalt heat takes on your rubber, you need a proactive strategy. First up, do monthly pressure checks, and always do them in the morning. Heat expands the air inside the tire, so if you check them in the afternoon, you'll get a fake high reading. Second, inspect your tread depth regularly. Bald tires are just inviting road debris to puncture them. Third, look for uneven wear patterns. That's a huge red flag for suspension or alignment issues. And finally, for the love of all things holy, check your spare tire's pressure. Don't wait until you're stranded on the highway to find out your backup plan is completely flat. If there is one crucial preventative number you memorize from this whole explainer, make it 5,000 miles. This is the exact milestone when you need to rotate your tires. Getting them rotated regularly ensures that the rubber wears down evenly, which maximizes their lifespan and keeps them structurally safe. So, we've walked through the immediate survival steps, how to assess the damage, when to let the professionals take over, and how to maintain your tires. Which brings us to this final, critical question. Next time you hear that sudden thud on I-35, will your instinct put you in danger, or will your preparation get you home safely? Remember, coast, don't brake. Check your gear, and always prioritize your safety above all else. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and stay safe out there on the roads.